Saurabh. Yes, so Saurabh, there is a sense of fright in America, but there's also a growing sense of denial because people on political lines don't want to accept the elephant in the room, which is that in America there is no gun control. People carry all kinds of guns, licensed weapons, and they can just shoot at will. And these kind of incidents happens elsewhere. But there is so much money and there is so much capital behind allowing this gun culture that it's sad that Americans constantly die because of incidents like this, if this is an individual incident, right? And at the end of the day, there's a debate, a 6-hour debate in American television for a day. But today's pictures, viewers, you should see the pictures. There was a sense of apprehension or shock after this incident happened. Joe Biden was on the line. He was talking to people about it. And I think the problem is at home. I think when we talk about lone wolf incidents and we say lone wolf incidents are not terrorism, then we haven't fully understood what terrorism really is, Saurabh.
Arnab, absolutely. Having covered counter-terrorism for a long time, studied the epistemology, I can tell you that this has the makings of a terror attack. It's prejudged. We don't want to prejudge the outcome of the investigation as yet. But you called out the elephant in the room rightly. The biggest problem that America faces today is to call out one of the biggest follies, that is open gun culture, which they have to shut it out. No civilized democracy allows this kind of proliferation of guns because of a certain lobby called NRA, which is blackmailing, the population in a democracy. Imagine common people are at risk of being shot at because of the fact that there are open proliferation of guns. Yesterday, President Biden did take some measures, but that's not enough. You need more of that. You need to make sure you have to clear your streets out of these rampant guns which have been destroying families with mass shootings happening in schools, and now these kind of incidents which are terrorizing people. Certainly, this happens in a city like New York City, which is bouncing back after a bad bout of COVID. This also creates other problems. So America has to realize that it has to take stern action against the rampant gun culture, and whatever it may be, there are lobbies. Yes, I do understand there are lobbies which work, that promote guns on some pretext or the other, but till the time America takes action against these proliferation of guns,
I don't know yet, and I don't want to prejudge whether this is an act of individual crime or an act of terrorism. But I think, Dav, if one does not accept that this is terrorism, then there is genuinely a problem. And I think underplaying the terrorist angle, you just look at it. Look at the number of people who've been hit. This is aimed, Dav, at causing the maximum damage. When the police says there are no undetonated devices, which means there are other devices, they cannot rule out the terrorist angle. The person comes fully armed. He's wearing this vest, he's wearing a gas mask, he's fully armed, he's loaded with guns, he's carrying gas canisters, he goes into the New York subway, right in the middle of rush hour traffic, and goes berserk. Dav.
Well, look. First of all, I agree. Excuse me, I'm speaking right now, sir. I tend to agree that it certainly looks like an act of terror. And as you've heard, we distinguish between individuals who are acting alone and some kind of coordinated effort. It smacks of a coordinated effort. One thing that none of your panelists have pointed out, but having grown up in Brooklyn, I can tell you, that particular station is a place where 3 different train lines all meet. And those train lines go through ethnic neighborhoods, primarily Jewish, Italian, and very heavily Hispanic. So it could have been an individual who was just crazy going after these people, or it could have been, as I tend to agree, an act of terror.
No.
One of the things that is critically important, because it's the rush hour, because so many New Yorkers use the subway, clearly until they can demonstrate what it was, they don't want to have a panic so that nobody goes to work and nobody takes the subway, which is why I think they're playing it down. I don't think they're playing it down simply in order to cover up if it was a terrorist attack. No, I guarantee you,
Dov,
if it was a terrorist attack, it's going to count.
But Dov, there is. You're also in denial, I'm sorry, because you know that in America today, your president, Joe Biden, is so weak that even though he tries to tackle the issue of ghost guns, which are privately made arms, they don't have serial numbers, and everyone's using them all over America. There's no rule of law in America today. People carry ghost guns.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Well, what do I need to wait a minute for? Am I wrong about anything? Are there not ghost guns, millions of ghost guns all over the